Get ready, because you're now listening to Water Cooler Talk. Covering everything sports and sports news. From the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, the pros, the collegiate level, and everything in between. If it's about sports, then we're about it. So keep it locked to the absolute coolest podcast. Now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear. I am your host, Nick Frazier, and the other voice you hear on the other end is
Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again for another week of sitting around the water cooler and listening to our perspective on sports. Oh my man, I'm excited. I'm excited. Sound a little tired, but guess what? I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little tired, but I'm excited. I'm here. You know what that means? If you hear our voice, that means it's Wednesday. It's time for another episode of the Water Cooler Talk. It is time for another episode of the Water Cooler Talk. Man, we are thankful to be back around the water cooler, man. We thank y'all so much again for tuning in every Wednesday, man, and listen to us give our perspective on what has happened in sports in the previous week, man. And we enjoy doing this. Marcus, how you doing today, boss?
I'm good, boss. I'm kind of hurt. I can't lie. Last night Monday night kind of hurt me.
Look, man, that was tough. That was real tough, man. That was really tough.
Man.
It was tough. It was tough on both sides.
Get better, Aaron Rodgers. It
was tough on both sides. You know, the Jets fans lost who they thought would come in and be the savior, and the Bills fans lost to Zach Wilson. But you know, it is what it is. You know,
we lost Zach Wilson last year. We ain't strangers. It's just Josh Allen can't look that pedestrian.
We'll talk about that later on. You know, I mean, we gotta talk about it. But ladies and gentlemen, again, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. We are here every Wednesday in your ear. The coolest podcast, man. We enjoy this. We got some big news coming up. Ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. We're going to let you know what's coming up for the Water Cooler Talk podcast. And, yeah, man, I'm excited. Hey, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready, boss?
Let's turn up one time for him.
Boss,
let's get
man.
hype on that win.
Boss, man, the crowd is ready. As always, when you hear that crowd noise, you know the teams are on the field and the teams are getting ready to kick off, man. It's about that time. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time. We are headed to the first quarter.
It's now time for the first quarter.
Woo! Again, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear. We are here every Wednesday. Hey, we in the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen, and you know we had to kick it off with probably, well, not to me, but probably one of the biggest games, not the one of, but the biggest game in college football this past weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We talking about that Texas-Alabama game. Man, let me preface my comment. It is a big game to me. I did not mean to say it wasn't a big game, but it is a big game. You said that. I did. I made a mistake and said that. It was a big game. But what I meant to say was what a lot of people thought what was going to happen didn't happen. And I told y'all last week who was going to win that game. I told y'all.
Leave it to me to take those guys over there, and they do that.
Listen,
as soon as I pick those guys over there, they do that right there.
Like I have been saying, since the inception of the Water Cooler Talk podcast on July 19th, ladies and gentlemen, this year's Alabama team is not good. Texas went in there and dog walked Alabama, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus, you watched the game. Tell the people what you saw.
Man, y'all need help.
Man, look.
We talked about y'all quarterback situation, and after the first game, everybody was like, Alabama gonna be good. We good with it. Look like y'all still need a quarterback. Bad.
Hey.
Like all he can do is run the football and throw the deep ball.
Exactly.
He a one-trick pony.
Like I said, if you want to be a great quarterback and you want to have a job in the NFL one day, you have to be able to throw that 10 to 12 to 15-yard pass in the middle of the field and the 10 to 12, 15-yard out. If you can consistently throw that pass, you will have a job in the NFL. Jalen Miro can't do it.
And the scary part about it is, in the past, they could lean on their running game and defense. You couldn't even.
They
do
couldn't
that.
even do that. And you know what? And you know what? People talked about me. People literally had comments about me saying that
other shows about what we said, Nick.
But saying that, I was like, "What you talking about? Like Alabama got a real good offensive line." The same thing that I said before. Alabama had almost the exact same roster come back from last year. And they almost lost to Texas last year. And you lost your most prolific player at quarterback as the number 1 pick in the NFL draft this past season, who's now with the Carolina Panthers. And you tell me Alabama's going to win that game? Come on, bro. Alabama had and the biggest problem, of course, is the quarterback position.
If I ain't tripping, didn't they lose Will Anderson too?
They lost Will Anderson. They lost Will Anderson on the defense side of the ball.
Oh man,
Henry Tour at middle linebacker.
I should have known better. And how that song go? I should have known better.
All I'm saying is this, man. I said it from the jump. Alabama had way more problems than just the quarterback position, but the quarterback position is the biggest problem that they have. Alabama, y'all need help, man. Y'all need help. I even gave y'all two. I even said y'all will have 2 All-Americans on defense: Dallas Turner and Kool-Aid McKinstry.
But I didn't see that, cuz.
I said that.
I didn't see that the other day.
I said that. I said y'all have 2 All-Americans on defense: Dallas Turner and Kool-Aid McKinstry. I said that. But who else on that defensive side of the ball can help them too?
Whew.
Alabama, y'all, man. Watching the game, man, it was like Texas was in control of the game, literally
from beginning to the end.
From the beginning,
from when they stepped on the field to when they walked off the field.
Man, this is in okay. So I was watching. I caught some of the Paul Feinbaum show on Monday, right? And after the weekend after. They have all the fans come on, talk, and things of that nature. Man, them Alabama fans were so upset, man. They were so mad. They were so mad, bro.
Man, when they didn't they go viral this weekend?
I don't for what?
For saying God knows what to.
Oh, talking about to the Texas players?
Yeah.
Man, listen, I don't.
Bro, why they fan base like, bro? Y'all got so much to root for, but every time y'all lose, y'all go to drastic measures. Like the tree in Auburn.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all, come on, bro. Y'all don't gotta act that way.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like it's like Alabama can't lose. And like when they do lose, it's like the world. So it's like the world stops and like they can't take it. I'm like, bruh, chill out. It's a football game, dog. It's a legit football game, man. Like, what are y'all doing? Like,
bruh, it's like playing a little kid, letting them win, and then when you finally take them serious, he break the game.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. They get mad. They get mad because they didn't win the game. I'm gonna take my ball and go home. I'm gonna take my ball and go home because I didn't win the football game. Man, Alabama fans, it's a football game. Same thing with Auburn fans. If we lose, it's just a football game. It really is.
But like we handle it way better than them.
Yeah, we
like,
do.
For some,
maybe
like,
maybe for the past couple of years we've been kind of not used to being, not winning. like that.
Yeah, true.
So maybe it is kind of foreign to them, maybe. I mean, okay, okay, let me ask you this question. I ask you this. Is it better to lose a game that means more, like on the national championship scale, or to lose a regular season game? Like, which one hurts more? Would you let me rephrase that. Would you rather
I'm gonna say,
would you rather
easily
would you rather lose 4 or 5 games, knowing you're not gonna make it to the playoff, or lose the championship game even though you made it? Which one?
we speaking professional or college?
No, we gonna stick to college because we talking about Alabama right now.
Collegiately, I would rather lose in the championship game because it's still exposure.
Yeah,
Because if your team not there, you don't get that same exposure.
yeah.
Not NFL. I'd rather not make the playoffs than get to the Super Bowl and lose.
See what I'm saying? So I mean, okay, because see that makes sense because I can understand that because if you lose in the championship game, you on the collegiate level, you still made it to the championship game. You made it. You had all this exposure. You were one of the way the college football playoffs set up right now. You were one of the top 4 teams. So that means you won your semifinal game. So now you get that extra exposure because now you are one of 4 teams one of 4 teams that's still playing for the grand prize. Now, of course, you want to win the game, but if you made it to that level, why aren't you? I mean, you want to win, of course, but if you made it to that level, you still had a great season. You still had a good season.
Yeah, I can't.
If you want to look at it like that, now the competitor and a lot of people be like, nah, man, we got to win it all, man. I got to go back and I got to get ready for next season because
the competitor in me would be that way,
of course,
but like you said, like which loss is gonna stick with you more? Like so collegiately, me just getting that exposure, I know that exposure can boost me to the next level while I'm ultimately trying to achieve. In professional sports, that Super Bowl loss, especially knowing how many times a person goes to the Super Bowl in their career, you're not promised to go back.
Exactly. I think I agree with you on that. I think a Super Bowl, I think losing in the Super Bowl stings more. Because I think it's harder. Yeah, I think it's harder to get to a Super Bowl than it is to get to a national championship game. I think it is. I think because you're not promised in the NFL with how long the season is, the way that the flow, the way the game is set up, the flow of the game and everything like that. I think it's harder to win. Well, it's hard to win at any level. But when you get to the Super Bowl, like when you make it to the Super Bowl, that is like you did something. You really did something then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's look at it like this. And you can even look at it now in collegiate level. You literally looking at the same teams every year, making it back, competing for a national championship. So I don't know I think it's a little bit harder because I think it's a little bit harder to make it to the Super Bowl because each year, it's you kind of know who are the favorites. But any surprise team can come out and make it in there. But in college football, it's the way it is. Except for this year, I think it's a little bit more wide open. But normally you
especially
can
as years in the
tell.
past, because in the years in the past it was what LSU, Bama,
It was
possibly.
It was Ohio State, Bama, Georgia. Maybe some other Big Ten team, maybe Michigan, somebody like that.
The cleansing the pop his head in and Florida State.
Florida State ain't been okay. This is the first time Florida State been good since 2013. I'm just gonna be real. This is the first time they've been good since 2013. So Florida State, this is new to Florida State too. This is new to Florida State.
I reached.
But man, Alabama fans, man, the way that y'all have goodness, bro, y'all have literally y'all have basically said the season is over with because y'all lost to Texas. A lot of Alabama fans. I hope they don't
ain't
feel that
throwing
way.
in the towel this early.
I hope they don't. Now, if they lose another game, and
I see that happening though. I
I
ain't
do
gonna lie
too.
and say I don't.
I actually have Alabama losing 3 games this year. It's
Yeah.
me though, but it's anything can happen. It's college football, So
Before we close this segment, question:
go ahead.
If Nick Saban loses 3 games, is Nick Saban era done at Bama?
Is his era done? Is the Nick Saban era done, or is the dynasty over?
The dynasty over. I'll rephrase that and say, is the dynasty finally?
Ooh, that is actually a good question. I don't know, because I still think Nick. I tell you this. I think, and I don't know if anybody else has said this or not. I'm pretty sure somebody else has said this. So I'm probably, and it just popped into my head. So I'm pretty sure somebody else has said this on a show that they have somewhere or something like that. But I think in this NIL era that we are in now, I think that the talent gap between Alabama and the rest of everybody else has closed dramatically. Like, dramatically.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
I think it has. And I think that aided Nick Saban's dynasty at Alabama. Because when you had guys coming in that were being recruited, you had 4 and 5 stars all across Alabama's, front 7, offensive line, especially on the defense side of the ball. They had 4 and 5 stars all across the field. You don't really see that now. You look at it, and now you have some of those guys going to Georgia. You have a lot of those guys going to coming to Auburn. As you can see, a lot of we had a lot of those guys. Some guys flip to Auburn. Some of those guys commit. You had some of those guys going to Florida State as well. I mean, I think in this era of NIL, the talent is not concentrated in Tuscaloosa, Alabama anymore. I think it's spread out more. And so I think that's what you see with other teams now having that gap closed up against Alabama.
Can I ask you this? Do you think it's more NIL or the Kirby Smart moving on to Georgia?
You know what? That's actually pretty good. That's actually an interesting conversation, because you have to think about it. Kirby Smart he's the DC at Alabama, right? And so with him being the DC at Alabama,
and he was a top recruiter.
So now with him leaving Bama, going to Georgia, becoming the head coach, did that literally split the recruiting pool for Bama? I mean, all those guys that would have gone to Bama are now going to Georgia. So for example, let's say for example, you have 3 5-stars and 2 4-star recruits. Do all 5 of them still go to Alabama now, or do only 2 or 3 of them go to Alabama and the other 2 go to Georgia?
It looked like the other 3 going to Georgia. Georgia had the more favorite box.
I mean, that's an interesting start. That actually makes me think that it actually did kind of split the recruiting pool, because now half of that talent is going to Georgia instead of going to Alabama.
Yeah.
Interesting. Never thought of it like that. That's actually pretty good, man. That's actually pretty good, man. Oh man, that was a good first quarter. Alabama fans, it'll be okay. Alabama fans.
Bro, stop acting that way when y'all take that L, because y'all got a couple more coming this season. I just don't want y'all to be like, they fan base is this and that, and this. Just accept it, bro.
Alabama fans,
accept the L and move on.
Alabama fans, it'll be okay. It'll be all right. Like I said, I thought this would be another 2010 season for you all, where you all went 9-3. But nobody listens to Nick, but it's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and let's move into the second quarter.
Now entering the second quarter.
Man, thank y'all again so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. Coolest podcast in your ear. We are here every Wednesday, man. Now, this topic right here, man, this one kind of hurts a little bit for me personally.
Yes.
It hurts for me personally, man, because I I have hyped this dude up so much before the
fans
season.
want to know.
I hyped him up so much before the season, ladies
Is he
and
still a
gentlemen.
top quarterback?
Yes, he is. Still a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
He's still a top 10 quarterback. Him and CJ Stroud.
Bryce Young is still a top 10
Okay.
quarterback in the NFL. Like, he just had a bad game. But the question is the NFC South better than what we expected? The NFC South went 3-1 this past weekend in the NFL. And that was going to happen by design because the Falcons and the Panthers actually played each other.
Yeah, I was just want to say.
But the other two teams did win. I think the Buccaneers beat the Vikings, and the Saints beat the Titans, or something like that. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. What you think, Marcus? Is the NFC South better? And who you got coming out the NFC South now that you've seen week one? You know, I'm
still rolling with them Saints.
Oh my God.
I'm still rolling with them Saints. They
After
still
that
got a top 10
win,
defense.
After that 1 point win they had against Tennessee.
Yeah, they still got a top 10 defense. You see, they only held Tennessee to 15 points.
They only had 16. So does Tennessee
I
have
said top 10 defense. I didn't say nothing about what they got on offense.
No, but I'm saying they had 16. Does that mean Tennessee had a top tier defense as well?
No, we all know what their offense looking like with Derek Carr and the Goo Troop, but we ain't gonna do that.
Oh man, I'm still gonna roll with Carolina Panthers to come out the NFC South.
We know you.
I'm gonna roll with it, bro. I'm gonna down that hill. I'm gonna down that hill.
Down on it.
Man, Bryce Young. Okay, I'm gonna put it like this, man. I'm not an Alabama fan, but I know talent when I see it. And Bryce Young is a talented individual, ladies and gentlemen. He carried that team to some wins that they should not have won when he was at the University of Alabama. But
that's college and NFL, nigga. I told you about, like you told us about this Alabama team. I told you when you hopped in their water.
All I'm gonna say is this, man. Bryce Young is a smart individual, and he will figure it out. I am still saying, now I may have to back off on the NFC championship thing. I'm gonna have to back off on that one. I have to back off on that one. I'm gonna back off on that one. I went a little too far on that one right there. But I still think the Carolina Panthers can win the NFC South and be a wild card. They'll be the divisional winners if they win. So I still think Bryce Young will make it happen once he gets ingrained in, because Bryce Young didn't really play in the preseason. He didn't really play for real in the preseason.
Man, you said the sample size was too small.
It was. He didn't play.
He played like 2 games out of what?
He probably played like out of the 3 games. He probably played like 5 series out of the 3 games.
Oh man!
So he didn't really get a chance to hop in there and get the action.
He showed hopped up in there against Atlanta.
Bro. But okay, let's look at his stats. So his stats, okay, so he completed 52% of his passes. That's not good.
2 interceptions.
He had 2 interceptions. He had 1 touchdown, and he threw for 146 yards, and he rushed for another 17. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you this though. I didn't watch the whole game because we were actually recording. Yeah. No, it wasn't horrible to watch. We was actually recording with DC from Auburn Addicts when the game was on. Shout out to DC from Auburn Addicts. We was actually recording with him, and that video is actually up on his YouTube channel right now. So go check out DC over at Auburn Addicts on YouTube.
And DC, he's still sipping the Nick juice on this episode.
Not.
He's still sipping the Nick juice.
Not, man. You can actually hear
it. He's sticking with this NFC prediction.
I'm sticking with this one, man.
He's sipping the Nick juice.
I'm sticking with this right here, man. I'm sticking with it. I am going to say that Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South. It's just one game, man. It's just one game. I'm not about to overreact.
Atlanta is the 3rd worst team in this division, and they lost.
Well, okay. Let's look at this. Okay. I didn't watch the second half, ladies and gentlemen, because we were recording. So I can't really give a real assessment on that game because I know going into halftime, I think that score was like 10-10 going into halftime or something like that. It might have been like 17-10. I don't know. I can't remember. I know, but it was a close game in the first half. It was a close. It reminded me of that. It reminded me of the LSU FSU game a little bit. That's what I'm thinking because I didn't get a chance to see the second half. It was like competitive in the first half, and then something happened in the second half to where the other team just went berserk and just won and just took over. So Bryce Young is too talented, man, to sit there and let this team.
And I'm not down that, nigga. I never was against that. All I'm saying is it might take time. Like you just don't expect immediate success.
You know what? I'm giving Bryce Young 4 weeks. So he has 3 more. He has 3 more weeks. Give him 3 weeks. Give him a full 4 weeks. Give Bryce Young a full 4 weeks. And I promise you, Carolina will be rolling. They'll be balling.
So since we on the NFC South, do you feel like this performance this Sunday saved Baker Mayfield's job and saved him for being on his way out the league?
So Baker Mayfield, I'm looking at his numbers now, where he completed 61%, almost 62% of his passes. He had 2 touchdowns, 173 yards, 173 passing yards, and 11 rushing yards. That performance saved his job. I mean, they got the W. They got the W now.
He got the W. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just,
he got the W
against a Minnesota team that people, were kind of high on.
And this is why y'all say Kirk Cousins is a top 10 quarterback.
Oh, pedestrian second half. I knew you were gonna bring it up. That's why I was ready with my Bryce Young.
And y'all say
I knew you were gonna go for Kirk Cousins.
And y'all say Kirk Cousins is a top 10 quarterback.
Right. He dropped the ball in the second half. I will admit that.
Okay. All right, Kurt.
You seen what Justin Jefferson did in the first half though.
But did you see what Tyreek Hill did the whole game? Bruh. Tyreek Hill balled out. I know, okay, we going off subject. But you brought up Justin Jefferson. Bruh. 11 for 215. 11 for 215, 2 touchdowns.
Man, dog, that man going for 2,000 yards this year.
He would have had it last year if Tua didn't get hurt. He would have had it last year.
Oh my God,
bruh, you cannot sit here and tell me. And this, you know what? This goes back to that debate that we had about the top 10 quarterback. And it ain't even a debate between me and Marcus because me and Marcus actually had to do flip. Marcus had Justin Jefferson 1. I think you had Tyreek Hill 2. I had Tyreek Hill 1 and Justin Jefferson 2. But Kyle. And he hit me up after and was like, how can you put that man over Justin Jefferson? And he gave me the stats. Justin Jefferson's the first player in NFL history since Jerry Rice to have back-to-back 1,600-yard seasons. I was like, yeah, that's good and all. I understand that. I like the stats. The stats are good. But when I watched the game, Tyreek Hill, bro, he pops off the screen, bro.
But in the defense of my boy Kyle, who ain't here to defend himself.
No, I know. He'll hit us up in the chat. He'll hit me up in the chat.
I already know he will. He ain't gonna let it sit. But second half, they went away from Justin Jefferson.
They did. I would give you that. I would give you that. They did.
So
they did. I will give you that. They did.
That's why I knew you were gonna get on Kirk Cousins next. So I was prepared for you to do this to him today, Nick.
You know what? I give you that. They did go away from Justin Jefferson. So you know what? Maybe Justin Jefferson probably would have had 200 yards receiving as well too if they would have kept feeding the ball. So you got a point. That makes sense. I agree. I understand that. But you can't deny that man Tyreek Hill, bro.
Man, he in my division, so I'm kind of nervous after we just blew a Jets game that we were supposed to win,
bro. That was amazing. And I sat there and watched that game, man. And I was like, wow.
Just throw it. Just throw it.
Just throw it in his direction. That's all he had to do. All he had to do was just throw it in his area. And that man was catching it. He was catching it, man. But, man, that was good, man. That was a good second quarter, man. How you feeling so far, man? We about to round this thing on up into the middle of the game. How you feeling?
Man, I was on the episode with my boy DC. and he gave me some good facts. He said Nick Saban said his players get up 4 times a year for a game,
Yeah.
and I think my players getting up.
Hey,
It's a game they getting up.
still got a long season to go, so you only get them up 4 times of the year. You know, you only get them hype. So,
hey, this one right here, they up though.
well, ladies and gentlemen, we've covered the first half of this game right here. You know what time it is. As always, it's time for them bands to come out because you know it's time for halftime.
Yell out your seats. It's halftime.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at halftime with the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Again, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear. We are here every Wednesday. As always, we got to shout out our sponsors, man. This episode is brought to you by Hollywood Media.
Hollywood.
If you want to feel like a star, come to Hollywood.
Hollywood.
For your photography and videography needs. That's Holly with the EY. Follow on TikTok, IG, and YouTube at Hollywood _media and Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 ways. Again, that's on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Hollywood _media. And follow my boy on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 ways. Man, shout out to DJ over at Hollywood Media, man. Everybody, man, athletes.
Very, very, very supportive.
Oh, very supportive, man. He's been one of the first supporters of the Water Cooler Talk Podcast since we started. Man, we thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for
y'all go support him like he's supporting us.
Yes,
y'all go get them pictures.
Go get them, man. Go get your videography needs. All athletes, go get your highlight tapes done by your man. The man is good. The man is great.
And he working on weddings right now. So he's working on filming and photography of weddings, and go check that out, man. He doing big things right now.
Yeah, man. I like that, man. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, DJ, man. We appreciate it. Man, we cannot sit here and not talk about a devastating injury that hit the NFL this past week. Aaron Rodgers, ladies and gentlemen, has torn his Achilles tendon, and he is out for the season. Rest up, boy. Get better. Devastating injury, man. Devastating injury. When I saw it happen, anytime something happens, anytime somebody says something with the calf, the first thing that comes to mind is the Achilles tendon when I think about it. To me. And when they showed the replay of what happened, I was like, man, either he twisted his ankle, he got a high ankle sprain, or it's just Achilles tendon. Because I remember there was some reports coming out that he was having some calf trouble during training camp. And when that happened, I was like, bro, please don't let it be the Achilles tendon. Please don't let it be the Achilles tendon. Because you're talking about a 39-year-old quarterback. Who has to come back from that injury? Whew, that's tough, man.
Well, since you say that, do you feel like this is it for Aaron?
You know what? I said today, I was talking to a guy at work, and I told him, I said, man, I think we've probably seen the last of Aaron Rodgers, man. I think, and that is a very somebody that talented, because you know what, you gotta think about it. When he went into his little retreat thing, he was already thinking about retiring. Then, and now this injury happens. This is at best 10 to 12 month rehab.
Man, you don't really fully heal from them type of injuries either.
You don't come back as yourself. Nah.
I
think we've seen the last of Aaron Rodgers, man.
I won't be surprised. I'd be sad if I was a Jets fan, but I won't be surprised.
And you know what the funny thing about it is? He's still guaranteed $75 million if he plays or not. So that's a big factor in that.
Yikes.
Even if he does not play another down, if he don't suit up for the Jets ever again, and he only played 4 plays for the Jets, if he don't suit up ever again, They still owe that man a guarantee of $75 million. Man, they told me that I go home and sit down too while y'all playing.
Hey, in a heartbeat, man.
I'm be
Hey,
like,
my leg hurt.
yeah,
Zach,
man.
another week.
Let
Give
me
me
go
another
on.
week, Zach.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let me go ahead and just chill out, wait these 5 years and get this first ballot Hall of Famer call real quick. If I was Aaron Rodgers, yeah, man, I'm done, man.
Yeah, sure, man.
Goodness gracious, man, I hate that, bro. Hey, I got a question to ask you since you're a Bills fan. Is it time for the Bills to move on from Josh Allen?
I'm not reading too much into it.
Oh,
we lost to a great Jets defense that did the same thing to us last year. He threw one more interception than he did last year. The only thing, the only thing that I'm worried about, bro, and I've been saying, like you said, I've been talking to people at work because these Cleveland Brown fans up here haven't been sparing me at all. Shouts out to Cleveland, they got their little win against Cincinnati. Joe Burrow had a bad week as well, so I want to highlight that as well. But nah, I'm being petty. But me personally, I'm not looking too much into it. Only thing that I'm scared about is because I seen something that Josh Allen that I don't usually see, and it seems like he's playing to satisfy someone other than himself.
Stephon Diggs.
Exactly. I wasn't gonna put a name on it since
I'll
you
do
did
it.
it with.
I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
It just seems like he's playing to satisfy Stephon Diggs. It doesn't seem like he's playing like his normal self, and it just seems like he's forcing a lot of passes, and that's the reason against a great defense like. Well, I ain't gonna say great yet because they ain't made no historical mark, but against a good defense like the Jets, you can't make those mistakes. You can't force those passes.
Very true. Very true. I hope y'all get it together.
And I hope we do too. We got the Raiders next week, so if we lose against the Raiders, I'm coming in here very upset.
I saw the line for that game, and apparently the Bills are a 9-point favorite in that game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hear the crowd coming. That sounds like the second half coming. The team's out on the field. The teams are ready. The teams are ready to go. We ready to rock and roll, baby. You know what time it is. Let's start the second half. It's time for the third quarter, baby. Let's go.
We've now entered the third quarter.
Oh, again, man, thank y'all so much for tuning into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear, man. Hey, boss, man, we in the third quarter. We're in the third quarter. And
what's on the play for the third quarter, Nick?
Topic we're gonna talk about. I think there are a lot of people who don't live in the Southeast. They want this to happen. They want this to happen so bad. They want this to happen so bad. They are preying on our downfall. They preying on our downfall. And the topic is: has the SEC decline started, or will it ever start? Has the SEC declined?
Whoa.
Has it?
Me myself personally, I feel like as long as Georgia is at number one, SEC school, because let's look at it. It's only one national championship winner.
Exactly.
And it only comes from one conference.
Exactly.
For us to decline, that means another conference. First of all, I'm gonna just say this: if y'all ain't winning year after year, we ain't declined. If we lose this year and end up bouncing back next year, all right, we had one down year. Ohio State, Clemson, they pop up every now and again.
Yeah.
So it might be another year like that. But as long as we finna have one of the only schools to three-peat if y'all don't stop us. So how is the SEC declining?
I would tell you this. No, the SEC is not declining, ladies and gentlemen. The SEC does have they do have down years every now and then. They do. To where you have what you would call not the traditional SEC team that is not slated at the beginning of the year when picked by the media to win the conference, not perform. Because you have other teams this year in the SEC, and I think this is actually gonna make the conference a lot stronger because now you don't have to just lean on Alabama and Georgia. You see what I'm saying? Now you have
in the LSU.
Yeah, in the LSU. Now you have a Tennessee. Now you have an Auburn that's coming. Now you have I don't, you know, Arkansas is good, but I want to see what Arkansas does in recruiting coming up. You know, Florida.
That's a good point, Nick. That's a great point.
You know, I don't know what Florida's going to do if they give Napier time. Maybe he can make something happen at Florida. But now with the SEC, now with the way the SEC with the way the SEC is, I think what this does, this makes the conference even stronger to where now you're not relying on Alabama and Georgia and then the occasional LSU to be the bell cow for the conference. You know what I'm saying? Unlike the SEC, unlike the ACC, to where for the past 7 years, Clemson has been the standard in the ACC. You know what I'm saying? Or if you look in the Big Ten, the two schools in the Big Ten are Michigan and Ohio State. And then every now and then you have a Penn State pop up.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep, I agree, Nick.
So no, the SEC is not down. I don't see the SEC declining at all. I see this actually making it stronger because now you have other teams in the SEC that can actually compete for SEC titles and actually be in the playoff, because with the expansion of the playoff from 4 teams to 12 teams, all it will do is make room for more SEC schools to get in. That's all it will.
So question, Nick, who is your Cinderella pick coming out of the SEC this year?
This year?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to go with I'm kind of interested in this Arkansas team, man.
Facts.
I'm interested in this Arkansas team. I'm interested to see what this Arkansas team does. I still think Auburn beats Arkansas. Like I said, just because of the revenge factor of what happened last year in that Arkansas-Auburn game. But I'm interested in this Arkansas team. I think Arkansas has a legitimate chance to go into Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama.
Okay. So another question: if it was a team outside of the SEC who you think can knock off Georgia, who would it be?
That's tough. That's a tough question. Ohio State, because they were the closest ones last year.
I don't like what I'm seeing from Ohio State, man.
I mean, they got to break in. I mean, okay. This is why. Okay, this is the thing. When you breaking in new talent on a team, when you have relied on CJ Stroud, when you relied on, you know, the other guys that were there before these new guys have come in, you have to see what these guys can do in real action. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So a lot of these games that they play at the beginning of the season are still kind of like tune-up games. So a lot of the major games don't really start until the end of the season. Now they did play Indiana. And Indiana always plays them tough, but they only held Indiana to 3 points, if I'm not mistaken.
They only put up what?
23
points.
They only put up 23 points.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, they looking a little shaky.
I mean, but that's okay. But that's okay. This is the question. This is the question here. Now, CJ Stroud at quarterback, yes, that's a high-powered offense, but it's Kyle McCord, CJ Stroud though.
Yeah,
and he's not CJ Stroud. So I wouldn't expect Kyle McCord to come in and throw the ball all over the field like CJ Stroud did. Another great example, Carson Beck at Georgia. He's not Stetson Bennett or nothing like that. So I mean, I'm not expecting Carson Beck to come in and throw the ball all over the field like Stetson Bennett did. But I think Ohio State probably is Ohio State or Michigan. I have to throw Michigan in there as well.
But the thing about it is, Ohio State put up 35 points on Youngstown State. And listen, I stay up here, so I know with Youngstown State ain't nobody but Tuskegee.
Oh my God! I know you did not just say that. Oh my God! So
Alabama
you mean tell me
State at best?
You mean to tell me Tuskegee will beat
Alabama State at best, and they put up 35 points, bro.
So you saying the Tuskegee Golden Tigers will beat Youngstown State?
Not this Tuskegee Golden Tiger team.
Well, they just beat Fort Valley. They just beat Fort Valley.
This team here, the old teams that we grew up watching.
Man, there was some dominant teams, bro. You know, okay, we going out to
the Willis Slater team. They would mop the floor.
I would probably go more the Rick Comegy teams than the Willis Slater team.
By far.
Rick
By
Comedy,
far.
bro. The Rick Comedy
By
teams
far.
at Tuskegee was something serious, dog.
I be telling people.
Bruh. And then he went to Jackson State and did the same thing at Jackson State.
Before prime.
Exactly.
Before prime.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right, I'm leaving it alone. But yeah, nah, man.
I don't talk about it. Though.
I think the SEC. No, the SEC is not in decline. No, they're not. They are not in decline. The SEC is actually, this is going to make the SEC better, and this new age of NIL, man. NIL has changed college football for for the better, because now all the talent is not concentrated at 4 or 5 schools.
Yeah.
It's not.
It ruins Alabama's dominance in a way.
Yeah. But it strengthens the rest. It strengthens other schools.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because at a time you got kind of tired of the same teams being in the running and probably a Cinderella team popping up every now and again and falling up short.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'll tell you this, that 2019 LSU team was a Cinderella team.
True.
The only reason why that team was good. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow.
In their receiving core.
Yeah. Of course, the receiving core, who he was throwing the ball to. But Joe Burrow, he was the engine. And the funny part about it is Joe Burrow he had to transfer from Ohio State to get down to the LSU to do that. So
don't remind me, I already know.
Man, I tell you, man, it's pretty good, man. No, the SEC is not in decline, in my personal opinion. Marcus, I'm pretty sure shares the same sentiments there. Just know it just means more than the SEC. Just because we had a bad couple of weeks to start off the season, it doesn't mean. And all them Pac-12 people talking about, the Pac-12 back. No, you're not. No, you're not. Your conference is dead. Your conference is dead. They leaving the conference. The Pac-12 sucks. They suck. I'm sorry.
And it's gonna be crazier next year in the SEC because that Texas and Alabama game will be a conference game.
It'll be a conference game.
So it's gonna be so live.
Oh my god. Oh, you know. I think 2024, Oklahoma has to play at Auburn. Brent Venables. Now this is a storyline. This is a storyline right here. This is a storyline coming up for that game. Brent Venables was actually the number one option to be the head coach before they hired Brian Harsin, because Brent Venables was the DC at Clemson. They actually came in and asked him to come they wanted him to be the head coach. Now, there are other storylines that go far back that actually makes me kind of upset, because actually Kirby Smart was a candidate to become the head coach at Auburn before Gus was hired. He was actually a candidate. He sent this is a true story. This is a story. He wanted full control. Auburn would give it to him. Auburn would not give him full control of the program. And
the same thing that happened with Prime.
Nah, we're not gonna talk about that. I can't. All I'm gonna say is this: I can't deny or confirm the Coach Prime to Auburn rumors. Not gonna talk about that one. But anyway. But yeah, Brent Venables was a head coaching candidate before they hired Brian Harsin to come to Auburn. He was, and his response. This was his response. His response was, "I don't know who's in charge at Auburn, so no." He didn't know who he was gonna answer to.
But honestly, Nick, that's our problem at head coach. every time we get on a run, like Lord knows, I don't really rock with Tommy Tuberville outside of football. But Tommy Tuberville was a great coach.
Tommy Tuberville was a deal as a head coach. As a head coach, people.
What happened with Tommy Tuberville? Politics. Let's call it what it was. Politics.
It was something else with Tommy. Tommy wanted out. He was ready to leave. He was ready. But you know what? The whole Tommy Tuberville thing also was, that 2004 season wouldn't have happened because they actually flew in the middle of the night to go basically hire Bobby Petrino behind Tommy Tuberville's back.
Yeah,
they did, and then they got caught. They literally got caught, and
I remember that.
And that whole 2004 season happened because of that at Auburn.
I said politics, bro. It's always something like that at Auburn, bro.
It's at every school. Texas A&M, Texas.
The thing about Auburn is it derails so much.
It kind of does. It kind of sets you back.
Auburn will ascend to being a top 2, top 4 team, and then something like that blows up our program.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about Auburn all day, ladies and gentlemen, but we got to head to the fourth quarter because we ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
Let's go.
We have now arrived at the fourth quarter.
Man, we are here, man. We got the foes up. We in the fourth quarter, sitting around the water cooler, talking about sports, man. And we just gonna go ahead and get to it, man, in the fourth quarter topic, man. Are the Dallas Cowboys a legitimate Super Bowl contender this year?
Ooh, that's a great question, Nick.
Are they? Oh my goodness, man. It's actually kind of hard to say that they are not. I mean, watching that game that the Cowboys played against the New York Giants, watching the game they played against the New York Giants this past Sunday night, this might be a recipe for Dallas to actually make a run this year. This might be a recipe for Dallas to actually make a run this year, watching that game Sunday night.
I still, to me, I'm not that high on the Giants, bro. So I just want to see. I want to see Dallas play somebody else who I'm like a Philly or somebody. And
it's coming. It's coming.
That's the statement game.
But if you look at it, let's look at this. Okay, let's look at it like this. So the purpose this year for the Dallas Cowboys was to not make Dak Prescott the focal point of the team. So basically, it's kind of like with let's using the defense, relying on your defense to help you win games, because I think Dallas probably has the best defense in the NFL this year from watching that performance.
Ooh.
They probably got the best.
Stand on that?
I'm gonna stand on that.
Okay. All right.
They probably got the best defense in the NFL this year. So I'm gonna have to say, if Dallas continues to lean on that defense to stop teams, and if Dak does not have to throw the ball no more than 25 times a game, Dallas scary. Scary.
I agree with that.
If you're not putting the ball, if you come to the point to where every game, you not having to put the ball in Dak Prescott's hands to go win you the game, but you relying on the defense, Dallas could make some noise this year. Dallas could make to the NFC Championship game.
But I would say, do you feel like they gonna flake out like always? Like do you feel like this sample size that you seen in week 1? Do you feel like it's going? So you feel strongly like this could maintain
if they stay with this formula of not trying to rely on Dak Prescott to win you the football game, then yes, I think it can, because as we all know, defense travels. Defense can travel. Travels.
Agree.
You see what I'm saying? Defense travels. But my thing is this, man. I think they got a formula to where they can actually, not just have Dallas Cowboy fans on some, oh, this is our year to win the Super Bowl, but like they actually could probably make the Super Bowl this year.
So, do you feel like that this Dallas Cowboy defense is better than the Philly defense? Even though the Philly defense gave up 20 points to Mac Jones, which was to me not a great showing for them, but still, do you feel like that this Cowboys defense is just that superior to maintain? Because we all know that Dak is gonna struggle sometime this year.
But okay,
So you
we
are you
know that.
saying
We
are
know
you
that.
saying that this defense can carry Dak through the struggling parts of the year?
But this
Where
is
they gonna have to depend on Tony Pollard and the running game more so than Dak's arm.
yes. I'm saying that right now. I'm saying. I mean, okay. So let's look. Let's look. What were the total yards? What were New York's total yards for that game? I'm trying to find it. The total yards for the New York Giants in that game. It should pop up. They had 171 total yards in that game.
Wow.
Dallas defense held them to 171
For
total yards.
under 200 yards total offense that's great. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, you right. They had 108 rushing yards, and passing they had 63. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that Daniel Jones is the second coming of Tom Brady or the second coming of Drew Brees or Peyton Manning or any other superstar quarterback you want to name. I'm not saying that at all. Not saying it at all. But when your defense, and we had this conversation over on Auburn X about Auburn's defense when they were playing Cal. We had this conversation about that. When Cal's defense started on the plus territory of their field majority of the game and only ended up with 10 points in the game. This defense held them to under 200 yards of total offense. Bro, that's elite. That's elite.
Real, bro.
That's elite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 200 yards of total offense. Like, wow. Like,
That's elite. Like I'm looking at the numbers now. Like 65 the New York Giants ran 65 total plays. Okay. They had 63 yards passing on 17 of 30 completions. 17 out of 30 attempts, they completed 17 passes. And they only they completed 63 they completed 63 yards. And they only rushed for 108. Now I'm looking for the turnovers. They had 3 turnovers in the game as well.
Yeah.
They had 3 turnovers in the game.
One went on like a punt block or something.
It was an interception. They had some interceptions. He threw some interceptions in that game.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, man. I'm looking at it like this. I'm like, yo, this defense legitimately. And when I was watching them play, man, I was like, man, this defense is moving. Like, this defense is fast. Like, this defense is moving around. Like, they playing with a fervor. Like, it's almost like they know that their quarterback is not an elite quarterback, so they got to take up for it. And Dak only threw the ball 24 times. He threw the ball 24 times. Completed 13 of them. 25 times. He threw it, and he completed 13 passes for 100 let me make sure I get my numbers right, for 143 yards. If they continue to lean on that and lean on that defense, they could win the Super Bowl, man. Because that's the same thing that the Ravens did when they won their first Super Bowl. That defense won them the Super Bowl, man. The Ravens defense won them that Super Bowl. So I'm like, bro, I think Dallas has a legitimate shot if they can keep this going. If they keep this philosophy going, lean on the defense, run the ball, throw the ball when they have to, and not rely on Dak Prescott's arm. Dallas got a legit chance of being the NFC's representative in the Super Bowl.
Me myself personally, I believe it when I see it. For real, I believe it when I see it. Like to me, stuff like this in Dallas happens all the time. You get real high on Dallas, and then the drop off be tremendous. Like it just happens. Like to me, it was just a great opening night.
You think so?
Like because like I'm looking at that defense and I'm like, what really changed from last year? Which was because they always been a good
Gilmore.
defense.
Stephon Gilmore.
I know. I was getting to that. Stephon Gilmore, and I think they drafted a nice little defensive tackle. They got a defensive tackle in the free agency to help solidify that line.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. The defense has always been great, but can they hold up Dak Prescott?
But see, that's the thing though. If your defense is that, if the defense is that elite and you're running the ball, now I do think they do need to go get another running back. I don't think Tony Pollard is the guy that needs to be carrying the ball that much. But if they don't have to rely on Dak Prescott's arm to throw the ball, and your defense can keep you in games, and your defense can create turnovers and score as well, that's plus 7 points right there.
All I'm saying is they've been had the offense to do that.
But but they were trying to make Dak something that he wasn't though.
And I understand that, but my whole thing with this situation is I don't think it's gonna change.
Okay.
Because what I feel like is now that they see it, they're gonna like, okay, we can always go back to it. And then they're gonna it's gonna be a big game, a must-win game for them, and they're gonna go back to their old philosophy.
So you saying in a must-win game, you think they'll put the ball in Dak Prescott's hands to win the game instead of relying on the defense?
Yep.
You know what? If they do that, Jerry Jones needs to sell the team.
They always do it though, Nick.
He needs to sell the team because what he has on that defense side of the ball with Michael Parsons
is tremendous.
Is amazing.
Tremendous.
Let
Michael
your
Parsons,
defense.
D-Law, Stephon Gilmore, Trayvon Diggs, Van Eldridge.
Yes, man. Let your defense carry you, man. Let your defense carry you. It's not you don't find too many special quarterbacks that can literally carry a team to a Super Bowl, i.e. Nope. Cam Newton in the 2015 year. The year Patrick Mahomes. You don't find too many special guys like that can carry you, that can carry a team to a Super Bowl like that. I don't see Dak being that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Lean on the defense, man. Lean on your defense. And if you have a special quarterback like that, and you have a defense that is as elite as that defense is, that's better. But when your quarterback ain't elite like that, man, lean on that defense. Let your defense carry you to the Super Bowl, man. Let your defense do it. But we just sit around the water cooler every Wednesday and give our perspective on it. We don't get paid for that. One day, hopefully we will, because I think we know a little bit. I think we know a little bit about sports, but it is what it is, I don't know, Man, that was great, man. How you feel, man?
Like I said, man, my guys is up for this one.
They was up, man. We had the sports psychologists come in and tell us they only get up 4 times a year for a game, but
shout out DC.
It is what it is, man. Hey, man, we're gonna talk about it in the post game, ladies and gentlemen.
It's time to shut down in the post game.
Man, we in the post game right now, man. We about to wrap this thing on up, man. We don't have that too much left. We still got to pick these games for this week, man. We thank y'all again so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast. Coolest podcast in your ear, man. We are here every Wednesday, man. We thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hey, man, go follow us on our social medias. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Again, that's at CoolestPod23 on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to email us at WCTpod@gmail.com. Again, that's WCTpod@gmail.com. Oh, and as always, go follow, like, subscribe, hit the ring notification bell on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Go follow us on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@thecoolestpod23. Again, that is www.youtube.com/@thecoolestpod23 on YouTube. Or you can just search us in the search bar at Water Cooler Talk Podcast on YouTube. So, man, we need you, man. We trying to make this full time. We're trying to continue to bring you content. As always, man, we thank you, man. We thank you, man. Marcus.
Yes, sir.
We're in the post game right now, boss, man. You know, we got to pick these games. Marcus, tell the people, man. Tell the people what they missing out on, bro. Tell them what they missing out on.
Listen, man. Listen, I keep reposting, and reposting. Come join this contest. Get you this free. I'm paying for it. Nick paying for it. Why not enjoy it? $50 gift card from wherever you want. This is a shopping spree. All you gotta do is pick some games that you were gonna watch anyway. That's all you gotta do. Come pick the game. Send me your name. Like, bro, we know y'all out here listening. We know y'all you want to participate in this show. So this is your opportunity. You know, we got big things coming. We just need y'all to participate. We trying to get up off the ground with this one. So, you know, send me your name, send me your picks, and we gonna get it.
Yeah.
What if y'all last day? We ain't playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll close the whole thing if you don't want to play. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, September 14th, man. You have until 11:59 p.m. September 14th, man, to submit your name and to let us know if you want to participate in this $50 drawing with us of us picking our games throughout the year, man. Hey, we need to shout out our sponsor, man. Shout out to our sponsor, man, DJ. Oh, man, this episode is brought to you by Hollywood Media.
Hollywood.
If you want to feel like a star, come to Hollywood for your photography and videography needs. That's Holly with the EY. Follow on TikTok, IG, and YouTube at Hollywood _media, and on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Again, that's follow our guy on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood _media, and on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. Shout out to our sponsor, man, DJ over at Hollywood, man. Go get your stuff. Go get your wedding photography. Go get your highlight tapes. Go get your pictures. Go get you and your boo. Go do all that, man. It's time, man. It's almost time.
Definitely.
Man,
it's going to be 5-star.
Always 5-star. Man, okay, man. So we at that time, man. We tried to tell y'all, man, you need to let us know by Thursday, September 14th, if you want to participate in this contest. That's
tomorrow.
That is tomorrow by 11:59 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday, September 14th. You need to let us know if you're going to participate in the contest, man, with us picking the 2 NFL games we pick each year, and the winner at the end of the season wins a $50 gift card, man. So we still waiting on some of y'all. We got right now, we have a couple of people who have committed, but we know, like Marcus said, we see the numbers every week. We know who listens and who downloads and stuff like that. So, man, hey, if you want to join in, you better hop in, man. So we got the updated stats. Last week, Marcus went 2-4 last week with his picks. And your boy Nick Frazier went 5-1 with his picks from college and NFL. So, as we stand right now, Marcus is 4-7. And I am 5-6. All right. This week's picks, man, we are going to pick 5 college games and we're going to pick 2 NFL games. Marcus, you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right, man. First game, man. We're going LSU at Mississippi State. Marcus, who you got?
I got LSU bouncing back this week.
Okay.
Man. They got to get their stuff together.
Okay.
Get this SEC win.
LSU at Starkville. You know what? I'm going to echo them sentiments. I got LSU winning this game as well. I still think LSU is the most talented roster. Well, between them and Texas A&M, I still think they have some of the most talented rosters in the SEC right now. So I'm going to go LSU as well. All right, next game. Georgia Tech versus Ole Miss. Georgia Tech had a nice little showing in week 1.
They did.
Again,
but
who you got?
If Lane Kiffin is who I think he is, he should pull this one off.
All right.
I'm going Ole Miss.
He going Ole Miss. You know what? I was tempted to pick Georgia Tech in this game, but I'm going to rock with you as well. I'm going Ole Miss as well, too, man. I got Ole Miss winning that game. All right. That's a big one right here.
I first say this next one going to be kind of crazy. I don't really
this next
know
one
where
right
I'm going to
here.
go with it.
This next one is kind of big because anything can happen. Tennessee has to travel to the swamp to play them Florida Gators. Marcus, who you got?
Oh, Rocky Top, you'll always be.
He picked the
Going
Vol-
Tennessee.
He's picking the Vols, ladies and gentlemen. He's picking the Vols. Okay. You know, your football mind tells you to pick one team, but your spirit tells you to pick another one. This week, I am going to go with my football mind, ladies and gentlemen, and I am going to pick the Vols to win that game. Picking the Vols to win. Oh, man, I kind of want to pick Florida for the upset, but I'm going to stick with the Vols. Oh, all right, man. Okay, cool. Next game. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Vols. I was about to go back and pick Florida, but I'm gonna stick with the Vols. I'm gonna stick with the Vols. Tennessee win that game. All right. South Carolina versus Georgia. Who you got?
GA, baby.
He's going with the Bulldogs.
I'm going with the same pick.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be competitive probably in the first half, but I think Georgia pulls away in the second half, so I'm going Georgia as well, man. We kind of the same right now in these games. Yeah, we actually are exactly the same. We feeling the same way. Okay, cool. I think we might switch up. Nah, we may not switch up here. Okay, this is a ACC Big Ten matchup coming up. North Carolina versus Minnesota.
I'm going North Carolina.
God.
Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. We just run your head.
He's picking the Tar Heels. I am going to pick Minnesota beat Nebraska, right? And Nebraska had a pretty good showing against them.
Same Nebraska team that just got dead up by Shador Sanders. That Nebraska team?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Tar Heels as well. I'm going Tar Heels. I'm picking North Carolina. Hey man, we all picked the same teams in the college football player. Not college, in the college picks this week. Oh, interesting. All right then. All right, we got our 2 NFL games here, man. I think we might differ on these two.
I think so.
I think we might differ on these two. All right, man. First game. We got the Vikings at the Eagles. The Vikings at the Eagles. Who you got?
This one's tough for me.
This is a tough one.
This one's tough for me. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go Philly, man.
Oh, man. I was going Philly too, man. Philly too. Man, we are literally thinking the same tonight. I'm going Philly too, man. So that means the Vikings will start off 0-2 this year if they lose this game.
Yeah, I'm going Philly, man. And I hate to say that because I'm so high on Kirk Cousins. But I'm going Philly, man.
All right. Okay, cool. All right. Sleep on Kirk Cousins. But all right, it is what it is. All right. Last game. I knew when I saw this game who I was gonna pick from the jump. When I saw this pop up. We got the Chiefs at the Jaguars. Who you got? I just want you to know I am writing mine down right now. And so you can't say that I picked behind you. I have already written my pick down.
No. I agree. With Chris Jones getting that contract, Travis Kelce being back in the lineup, I'm going Chiefs.
Ooh, you picked the Chiefs. This is where we defer, in the words of Jay-Z. I am picking the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game, man. I think Calvin Ridley and
I was gonna say with Calvin Ridley balling how he did last week, I already knew where you were going with
and Trevor Lawrence.
Hopefully that defense can hold up though. I finna look good, but can that defense hold up?
Yay. All I'm saying is this, man. I think the Jaguars win that game. All right, you've heard our picks for this week. You have until tomorrow, Thursday, September 14th at 11:59 p.m. to submit your picks and submit your name to us to enter into the drawing to be a part of the $50 giveaway. And we thank you so much. Ah, man. Marcus. It's about that time.
Sir.
It's about that time to give out the award that everybody loves, but the person that gets it hates.
Give it up for the Water Boy Award.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Marcus,
Yes, sir.
I heard this is a special Water Boy Award you're giving out this week. Actually, special Water Boy Awards that you're giving out this week. Who you giving it to?
The reason why we made this, Nick, is to highlight bad performances. And one, to me, wasn't a bad performance. He just talked too much. And two, I gotta talk about the other one.
Okay.
It hit home for me.
Okay.
First one, I'm gonna give you Jamar Chase, my Water Boy Award.
Mm-hmm.
How are you gonna call the Cleveland Browns elves? And then y'all come up, y'all drive 3 hours up north, Ohio, to Cleveland, to MetLife. I said MetLife. I'm thinking I'm hurt about the situation. To First Energy Stadium and get blitzed.
Wow.
By Deshaun Watson and Myles Garrett. Then you like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe we just lost to. You should, hey, bro, be humble, man. Be humble, man. Yeah, first of all, y'all just lost to the Browns, man. Be humble, bro. Y'all, you need to calm that down. Come sit by, come on the water cooler and sit by me, man. I'm gonna give you some good guidance for the future before you go talk and then get smacked in your mouth and only get 39 yards receiving.
Ooh.
5 receptions. Your quarterback can throw over 100 yards.
Ooh.
So before you start talking real reckless about the Cleveland Browns, because they always give y'all hell in the first place, let's not do that.
Ooh. I hope Joe Burrow heard that.
He can, because the next person who I pick is my quarterback, Josh Allen.
This is my quarterback.
Bro.
That's my quarterback.
He is. And he can't perform like that. This is a big year, big expectations. You accounted for 4 turnovers last night. Aaron Rodgers went down and you still lost the game. I can't have that out of you right now. I got a lot riding on this season. I got a lot of people to pay if you keep coming up short. So you can't keep doing that, dog. What you doing diving for a first down and you 3 yards from the first down? Trying to jump over somebody. Bro, get down. Come on, Josh, bro. We need you, bro. I need you, bro.
Oh, man.
Matter of fact, come sip some of that water with me real quick. We gonna play the video game and we gonna talk, bro. You can't be doing this, man. Whatever you and Stephon got going on, bro, y'all come pull up at the water cooler with me. We're gonna have that drink. We're gonna talk it out, bro, because you gotta get back to yourself. We don't supposed to lose.
Mark is mad. Mark's mad right now, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all should see him. He mad right now. He mad.
Man.
He mad, man.
Cue the drop, Nick. I'm
Oh,
done.
man. Go take a sip of this water, y'all. Jamar Chase, Josh Allen, take a sip of this water. Bro, that's funny, man. All right.
Man,
Hey,
man,
hopefully they
man,
get it
that
right.
blew my parlay, man, by himself.
Hopefully they get it right. Hopefully.
By himself, Nick.
Oh,
4
man.
TO, bro.
It's about that time, man.
3 interceptions and 1 fumble, bro. Are we serious right now? Nick, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
already did. I'm sorry.
You good. It's okay. It's
My
fine.
God.
It's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. It's good. You know, I don't
I
have.
had
a
to
dog
hear
in
about
this
it
fight.
all day.
I don't have a dog in this fight.
All day at work. Man, your boy John Allen. Market. John Allen. John Allen. MVP? Come on, bro. Like,
Man.
come on, bro.
Y'all are funny, man. Y'all, boy. You know what? I don't know. I don't have an NFL. Well, I think the Panthers will probably be my team.
We know.
Not
me, I
because
got a lot.
not because of Bryce Young, but because of the young man by the name of Cam Newton who took them to the Super Bowl. That's the reason why I'll probably have to pick the Panthers. Yeah, man. That was good, man. That was good. That was legendary. Y'all should see his face right now. man is upset.
They'll be able to see it October 4th.
Starting October 4th, you right into it, man. Starting October 4th, ladies and gentlemen, man. The show that you're listening to now will be on YouTube at 7 p.m. every Wednesday. You'll still be able to listen to it in the audio format as well, but we're gonna add the visual component to it as well, man. So we are excited, man. We're gonna be dropping some subtle, some little water break segments that we're gonna be putting out leading up to October 4th. But starting October 4th, every Wednesday, you will be able to hear the Water Cooler Talk, the coolest podcast in your ear, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You'll be able to see it as well as hear it. So, man, we are excited about that, man. We are ready to get on there and bring you some great content as well on YouTube, man. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, it's at www.youtube.com/@thecoolestpod23, man. We thank you so much. Hey, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
We're about to get up out of here, boss, man. How you feeling, man? How you feel about today? What you got to tell people?
Man, I got to look carried away at the end of the game, man. I'm sorry. Press conference. It got kind of out of hand. I felt like Richard Sherman.
In my 24 years of life, I'm better at life than you. Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Anything else you got to say to the people before we get up out of here, boss, man? We done kind of ran over time a little bit, but what you got to say?
Man, shout out the home team, first and foremost. Shout out Uncle Willie.
06.
Shout out Kyle. Shout out my brother.
Shout out
Terrell.
to Kyle.
Shout out DJ. Shout out Tay. Shout out Freddie. Shout out the home team, man. Y'all be blessed, man.
Hey, shout out to BTW, man. I had the all-class reunion this past week.
Man.
Missed it. I missed
I
it.
seen some characters out there. Out there.
Class 2011 represented, man. Shout out to all y'all, man. I think homecoming coming up soon at BTW, man. I'm going to try to make homecoming. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it, but I'm going to try my best to be there, man. So shout out to.
I'm not even gonna lie to y'all like I'm gonna try.
I'm not lying. I'm really gonna try to make it. Man.
I might try for Skeegan homecoming.
I'm trying to make it. I might try to make it, man. But shout out to BTW, man. Shout out to BTW, the 4-6, Macon County all day, man. 334, man. We love y'all, man. Support y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. Hey, man. It's about that time, man. Y'all have a good one, man. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed. One love.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Water Cooler Talk. Make sure to follow us on our socials on Instagram and TikTok at Water Cooler Talk and on YouTube at The Coolest Pod 23. Also, make sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast player so that you never miss an episode.